welcome back to the Frenchie Farts podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Hannah Davis.
And I'm your other host, Hayden Nooner.
And today we are joined by our podcast producer slash special guest, Rhett Davis.
Woo woo! What's up, guys?
Hey, happy Saturday.
Yes, happy Sunday.
It's Sunday. Oh God.
Yeah, it's a 3-day, 4-day weekend for you, and
it's like a 5-day weekend for me.
Yeah, this is the 16th of February. This will come out the 17th, so hot and fresh.
Actually, for real this time. We're not trying to be funny.
Yeah. Just got out of the movies.
Yeah, and it made us decide to talk about certain topics. But before we get into it, we're going to talk about a couple things first. Up first, we're going to talk about the Last Place Chronicles tournament.
That's the wrong sound. That's not the sound I needed. I was going for like a bullhorn and it gets like...
You were going for bullhorn and you went with sad trombone?
I wasn't going to come on fire, but I wasn't very good at it.
So yeah, the Last Place Chronicles is going to be a tournament-style set of videos that are going to be coming out from March through April. So basically, it's a tournament style in the sense of you're trying not to be last place because whoever is last place is eliminated. We start out with 10 people, and each video eliminates one person. There are some things along the road that happen that you'll see as the video goes. But ultimately, you're trying not to be last place, and whoever wins earns a trophy and a buku of goods put into the pot by everyone who's playing.
Yeah, pretty much. So if that sounds like something interesting to you, be sure to tune into our channel March and April.
Yeah, and also a big thank you to Gabe's Cave for letting us film there. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Which was super cool, by the way. It made us feel very official.
No more green walls for us.
No. I mean, there will be more green walls.
We love our green walls.
Just not for March and April.
Right. Who knows going forward past that, but for March and April, we're going to be in a new studio, as it were.
As it were. Okay, so now...
We're watching a lot of SNL because of the 50th.
Oh, yeah.
And so if I just have random weird quips, that's where they're from. I'm sorry.
Always. SNL would count. It'd be kind of a weird one for this group. However, what we are doing today is we are discussing our favorite fandoms. Not necessarily the fan base, but the piece of media attached to said fan base. This happened today because Rhett and I went to see the new Captain America movie, which was good. Don't listen to the haters. I liked it.
I really enjoyed it, and I probably would give it like an 8 out of 10. It's not a top tier movie, but it's definitely way better than a lot of the movies that have come out in the last couple of years.
And Thor: Love and Thunder, Ant-Man,
Quantumania,
trash.
I forgot about that one.
It's better than Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness to me as well.
I like Multiverse.
I like Multiverse too. I like magic.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of it I liked. There's a lot of things I didn't like. But anyway.
I liked Multiverse. I liked that Sam Raimi directed Multiverse, and it felt horror movie-like. I liked that a lot.
It felt like cheesy horror movie.
I love
is what
that.
It felt like.
I love a cheesy horror movie.
There's nothing wrong with what we're saying.
No, there's nothing wrong.
Everything you said is correct.
But just specify. It doesn't feel like...
No, it didn't take itself too seriously.
Nothing scary, really.
There were some jump scares.
And
some weird twitchy body horror.
A lot of zombie stuff.
Yeah.
Because of Evil Dead.
I didn't like the mouth head thing. That made me cringe when Thunderbolt can't speak.
Oh, Black Bolt. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like Skull caves in.
No, that was really dope.
Really dope, bro.
No, all those kills that Wanda did were really body horror and scary.
Yeah.
So before you go ahead and say it wasn't scary, she turned John Krasinski, Reed Richards into pasta.
Oh yeah, it was like unraveled.
Not scary though.
It was weird.
Just very silly.
It wasn't silly. It was weird.
Yeah, something weird.
But
Poor Captain Carter, R.I.P.
I don't know. Anyways, we can get into a whole discussion about Marvel stuff, but
I love.
Anyways, continue on.
Leave a note in the comments if you think Wanda's dead.
Leave a note in the comments if you think John Krasinski should still be Reed Richards.
Too late, he's not.
I'm just saying.
Who is it? Did I miss it?
There's a new trailer. Did you not see the new trailer? They're making a Fantastic
New
Four.
Fantastic
Apparently, been living
Four.
under a rock.
They're making a new Fantastic Four movie. It looks like it's set in the 60s.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an awesome vibe. Feels very Incredibles.
Like The Incredibles, yeah.
Oh, cool.
But it's Pedro Pascal is playing Reed Richards, which
Okay.
we'll see.
I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with
I
it.
like him. I can accept this.
Feels like a weird cast to me, but Marvel usually does pretty well, so I'm gonna trust the process.
People wanted Pedro Pascal in the universe, I'm sure.
I feel like
he's
there's some
not like
better
who,
characters.
He's not who I would like automatically go to, but it doesn't hurt my brain.
I'm sorry. I don't think Reed Richards is a particularly hard character to play.
But he is. That's the thing.
I think, and I'm so sorry because we just said John Krasinski is good in it. I think of Reed Richards as kind of a boring dude,
Me too.
and Pedro Pascal is not a boring dude.
Yes.
Is that the problem?
Yes.
He's not boring enough?
I think that's the problem.
He's too hot? Is that the problem?
Not
I think
hot.
he's too charismatic.
I have to see, like, is he going to drop all charisma to play this
Yeah, he's
boring
not like
role?
nerdy
He
and like
drips Riz.
boring enough.
Yeah, that's kind of my issue right now.
Okay.
So it's more of like I think he's a great cast in a role that's more fun.
Okay, I agree with you on that. Okay. I thought you were saying that you
That's
didn't
why
think that he
I
could do it.
really like the original Reed Richards, at least from the one from the early 2000s,
Mhm.
because that guy just kind of sinks into the background.
The one with the Chris Evans.
I forget his name.
Johnny
Eon
Storm.
Bruffett or something. I don't know how to pronounce it.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, he needs kind of a. He's kind of a boring guy.
but he
plays
feels like
the-
he knows all the stuff he's talking
he
about at
plays
the
the
same
role
time.
well, yeah.
He plays the role well. Yeah.
But he's not a show horse.
Okay, sorry about the Marvel tangent, but it feeds into it, so I don't feel
You're
bad
gonna
about
get
it.
more.
So
You know what you're in for.
we're gonna start off playing a game of our own invention, maybe, that we call Enjoy, Join, Erase. And it's sort of like an FMK, Kiss, Marry, Kill situation, in which we are going to list 3 fandoms. One of those you just enjoy. You leave the fandom as a fandom and you just have it the same as it is. The other, you join the world of the media. So if I decided to join the world of Pokemon, I would have Pocket Monsters. And then erase would be to erase the works of fiction from the planet.
Well, I can think of a couple for that one.
Right. So Nooner has a list of fandoms that are like some of the most popular fandoms.
Jillian.
And so he's going to randomly pick 3, and then we're going to discuss. You can play with us if you wish. Leave us a comment. Tell us what your answers are to each of our dilemmas here.
All right, first one, interesting. Pride and Prejudice.
Okay. Is that a popular fandom?
Yeah, I feel like there are Pride and Prejudice people in college.
Yeah, there are. I would. Okay.
It's definitely like.
Is it a fandom to say just a book, or if you're one of those people that reads everything the author comes out with, are you part of the Jane Austen fandom, or are you part of all of her books fandoms separately?
I think they're 2 different segments.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's a Jane
like,
Austen person,
Mhm.
and then there's the I want my Mr. Darcy. I
don't particularly. I don't remember the others.
All right. Second one is Doctor Who.
Okay.
And then the third one is Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
I want to get canceled. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so first of all, before we do anything, are we looking at this logically with join? Are we joining because we like the vibes, or are we like not joining because I'm afraid that a Charizard is going to kill me? Like, you know,
I think join for vibes.
Also, like looking at all 3 of these, like these are just the world. Like
that's true.
Like unless you're an assassin or a Templar, Assassin's Creed is the world. Like there's not much different.
Except it's old.
And Doctor Who, unless you're part of like one of the phenomenon that's going on, it's just the world.
Yeah, and Pride and Prejudice is literally just the world.
So I guess in Doctor Who, you would probably be a doctor or someone.
Yeah, are we assuming that you're assuming
you're a main character?
I think you're a part of wherever the story is.
I like if you're Doctor Who,
if you're in Harry Potter, you're going to be a witcher.
Okay, let's set that precedent that you're involved with the conflict.
Okay, so you're not like Ash's mom.
I'm not a person in New York watching New York get destroyed by Avengers. You know.
I'm ready.
I am too.
Ready? You ready?
You guys go ahead.
All right, so I'm going to start with my enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Just leaves the fandom.
Pride and Prejudice.
Okay. It's great.
Great. It was good. Great. Join could be Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
And goodbye, erase Doctor Who.
Okay. Okay.
I can't explain if you did.
We'll let everybody say their answers and then I'll explain. I am going to join Doctor Who. I'm going to enjoy Pride and Prejudice, and I'm going to erase Assassin's Creed.
Okay. I'm going to enjoy Assassin's Creed. I'm going to join Pride and Prejudice, and I'm going to get rid of Doctor Who.
I have my reasoning. My reasoning is that Doctor Who takes place in modern day, and I like showers and being a woman too much to not join the Doctor Who. I cannot be part of Pride and Prejudice, and I cannot be part of Assassin's Creed.
I'm a white male, so Pride and Prejudice doesn't seem like a bad place to be.
It's not.
So
None of them are a bad place for you to be as a white male.
Assassin's Creed, I enjoy it, but
Cardio.
it's a lot of people dying.
A lot of
Yeah.
cardio, man.
Almost everyone dies, unless you're Ezio. You're pretty much going to die young.
And then Pride and Prejudice and all the diseases and Regency era England.
And I honestly, I have no interest in Doctor Who. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't like Doctor Who.
And I apologize.
I like
one of the ones you're talking about that fans
are rabid for.
They ruined. I knew too many Doctor Who fans before I ever got a hold of the media, and it was hard
and
to get into it because everyone's like, "Oh, don't you just love it?" It's like I'm 2 episodes in.
British TV as a whole gives me the ick because they don't spend as much money on their TV, and so it always feels so cheesy to me. Does that make sense? Like the special effects and the writing,
allure to it.
Because like I like some British television.
I don't. I like one British TV show.
Me too.
And it's Dairy Girls.
Oh, I like 2 then. I also like Sherlock.
Oh, I love Sherlock, but they spend a lot of money on Sherlock.
Like Call the Midwife.
I do like Call the Midwife too. But like I'm talking about, I don't know, something about Doctor Who feels.
But don't you like that one? God, what's the one that came out about the kings and queens and everyone's dating each other?
Bridgerton is American.
Oh, it's American.
It's about British people, but it's American.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Sorry.
I think right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I've never seen it. So
it's American. It's American. It's American funded.
Okay.
It's not. Yeah.
Okay.
And
so it's got the American quality.
Yeah. Something about the cheesiness of British TV, especially Doctor Who, because like this, I could probably get into the story itself, but like,
but it's just so much.
It's so much. It's so cheesy. Everyone's like, start on Doctor 6. What do you mean?
I always hate that. It was like, oh, well, don't watch the first season. Watch the third season, then go back to the first one. No.
If I'm going to watch your fandom, I'm going to start at the very beginning.
And I'm not going to start at the very beginning of Doctor Who. I'm not starting black and white Doctor 1. Is it? I don't even know if it's black and white, but still.
I have no idea. But I just know we're on the 13th Doctor?
More. 15th, I think.
Oh, okay. I have no idea.
But the spooky parts of the fandom I like whenever I watch TikTok clips of like the Weeping Angels and stuff, that's dope. Like some of the stuff is really cool, and then I'm like I just can't watch it though. It gives me the ick.
Yeah, I don't. It's nothing against Doctor Who. It's just.
Yep, I'm just not a fan. What's your reasoning for the way you did it?
I think I would enjoy Assassin's Creed in the sense of just, and it just depends on so many different eras from it. But I think I would enjoy that more. I am not a relationship person, so living in Pride and Prejudice times, I would hate. And Doctor Who, I'm not a science fiction person, and so I feel like my brain would hate it.
There's something I'm very jaded about the use of time travel as a plot point.
And I don't think I'm smart enough to exist in a world of time travel.
No, I'm not.
Because, like, with Doctor Strange using, like, the time stone...
Dimensions?
Should never have handled.
Oh, my God. I completely understand.
Just in me.
However, I could see how it would be kind of fun to be the Doctor's companion.
Although technically there is, I guess, time travel-ish.
So you want to be Watson?
Yes. I would never want to be Sherlock. I would always want to be Watson.
All right. Well, that's a really great segue. Because our next trio is Sherlock Holmes.
What have you done?
These are all random. I apologize. So Sherlock Holmes, Danny Phantom, and Clue.
Clue? So the movie / board game?
Movie or board game?
It just says Clue Phantom, so I would assume both.
And play. And musical.
Right. I think more movie. I would think because it's such a
All right.
cult classic.
Wow. Okay.
I know my answer immediately. First of all, these are 3 of my special interests. Nooner says this is 3 random things, but I don't believe him.
Wait till you get to the next couple ones.
All right. Who's starting this one?
I can if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I am enjoying Sherlock Holmes. I am joining Danny Phantom, and I am killing Clue, or what is it? Erasing Clue.
Clue. Yeah. All right. I think I'm the exact same way.
I am not. I am enjoying Clue. I am joining Sherlock Holmes, and I am erasing Danny Phantom. Apparently, just because I don't know a lot about it. I wasn't a
Oh my
Nickelodeon
god!
kid.
If you watched it right now, you would love it.
I'm sure I would.
You would love it.
My thing is just like, assuming we're a main character in this, that means we have cool ghost powers.
Or
which
you're
is-
at least close enough to Danny Phantom to understand the cool ghost powers.
If I'm not Danny Phantom, I'm getting rid of Danny Phantom. I don't want to be in that world and I don't have cool powers.
You could be Vlad.
Okay, he's a villain. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Dude, Danny Phantom's so cool.
yeah.
That's why I'm joining it. I think it's cool. And I like the sciencey aspect they bring to like the afterlife is super interesting for a kid's cartoon.
If I'm not Danny Phantom in the world of Danny Phantom, I'm flipping that with Clue. Erase it.
Clue I'm erasing because I love it, but I'm not joining it. I'm not dying. Sorry.
Well, I mean,
I'm not dying or murdering someone. Those are the 2 options.
no, most of them live.
Yeah.
I'm not dying or murdering someone.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess it depends on the ending.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Clue the movie, they all did it.
I mean, it depends on the ending.
Well, technically, everybody did someone.
In the last ending. So in the Clue the movie, there's 3 endings.
Yeah.
One of them Miss Scarlet does it. One of them I think Miss Peacock does it. I don't remember that one. I don't know. One of them Miss Scarlet does it. One of them Miss White does it. I don't remember. But then the last, like the most, like the theatrical ending is everybody does it.
Yeah. And if you watch the movie now, it does like, what if it was like this? What if it was like this? And this is how it really went.
Yeah.
Because like,
But if you're joining Clue, like the board game or the movie, you're either dying, trapped in a mansion being tortured, or you're killing people. And I don't want to do that.
That's why I made that enjoy.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I made Sherlock Holmes enjoy because I'm obsessed with it. But I also wouldn't want to join Sherlock Holmes. 1, I'm not smart enough. And 2, Sherlock's a jerk. And 3, I'm probably going to die. So.
Yeah. Who's the maid woman? That would be.
Oh,
That would
Mrs.
be,
Hudson.
would be who I was.
Oh, yeah, I love Mrs. Hudson.
Because I'm not smart enough to be Sherlock. I don't have the patience to be Watson.
Right.
yeah,
Because I would have pushed
I
him.
have no interest in
I
Sherlock.
would have pushed him
no,
off Tower Bridge.
no interest in being in Sherlock.
Mhm.
I enjoy the content and
Yes.
know that it is bridged to so many other medias.
But also,
So-
like, once again, we go back to the part that I don't want to live in that era of England.
Yeah. I like plumbing.
I would get Jack the Ripper, who they found, by the way.
They did.
Did you know that? They did.
I
Did
know,
you
no,
see
I saw the article about it, but they're still like validating a lot of
Yeah.
It's
things.
still though.
It's
the
cool
closest
that
we
they
ever
have a
got.
name.
Well, they had that
It's a
name for a long
Polish
time.
barber,
He
apparently.
was one of the 4. There was him, and there was that person who was connected to Queen Victoria, and then there was the husband of one of the women.
See, I've
It's
always
one of those things
thought
I
that
don't
it was.
think we'll ever know for sure.
I've always thought
so-
that it was like some sort of midwife.
Did you ever watch the TV show Sanctuary? It's a Canadian TV show.
I know of it,
And
never seen it.
There's basically these 4 really powerful beings, and they have different powers, and one of them, and they're immortal, and one of them he apparate, and he is Jack the Ripper,
Makes
and
sense.
he goes through time periods.
That's how he can put all his
Tesla's
bodies,
in
places,
there too, and
body pieces in different places
yep, so it's
so
it's
quickly.
cool. Next one, Yu-Gi-Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Vampire Diaries,
Hmm.
and then Maximum Ride, that James Patterson book series
I don't know
from
that.
2005.
Can we
I
get
don't
rid of
know
that
that.
one? I'm not
I don't
familiar
know
with
that at
that
all.
one.
Yeah, it was about that girl. I think they were like mutant. They were people who were born with wings.
Oh, I've never heard of this.
Interesting.
They were James Patterson books for young adults.
I remember them
05.
existing. I just never read
I
them.
don't think I might recognize the cover.
Let
or
me give this a
something,
rando. Oh, this is fun. All right, this is a fun conversation. So, Yu-Gi-Oh, Vampire Diaries, Pokemon.
Okay.
but- Okay. I'm going to enjoy Pokemon because I feel like if I went into the world of Pokemon, it turned into a dogfighting situation. But everyone's doing it, so I guess it's okay because you can heal your dog.
I seem to like it.
Okay. If that's the case, then I'm entering the world of Pokemon, assuming like this dog fighting situation
Although I've
is.
always assumed Pokemon was some sort of house elf situation, in that like I like being a slave. That's what it like feels like
I
to
know.
me.
It's why it's like it feels weird, but
But I mean, dogs are that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I go into the world of Pokemon then. Enjoying. I'm gonna say Yu-Gi-Oh and getting rid of Vampire Diaries.
I am joining Pokemon. I'm enjoying Vampire Diaries, and I'm killing Yu-Gi-Oh! Or erasing Yu-Gi-Oh!
Sorry, yeah, racing Vampire Diaries for me.
I am going to join Vampire Diaries. I'm more of a supernatural.
Oh, you're gonna
person.
die. That's why I'm not doing it. And nobody's happy in Vampire Diaries. No one. No one has
I
a
know.
good time.
I need you to watch the originals. In the original, there's one happy couple, and then they're just like pawns, and the bad person kills one of them. Like they're the only couple in the whole show that's ever been happy.
So
They're
a
a
world
side
of
character.
not happiness is what I'm
Don't be a
hearing.
sad. Don't be a side character in anything. Like,
Or a main
Ever.
character. It sounds like they're all miserable.
They are.
but I would join Vampire Diaries. Because I think that's more my speed. I enjoy Pokemon. I'm not a very dynamically thinking person, so I feel like I would suck at like actually being a Pokemon trainer. I would just be that person who had a Pokemon farm.
Ash is barely a Pokemon trainer.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, like, yeah, you could be like a breeder where there's a whole different, there's a
Or
whole
like a
like,
Nurse Joy.
yeah, there's a whole bunch of different jobs
Although
you
for
could
my
have,
look, I feel like if I was in the game, I'd be like a bug gym leader.
Oh, I definitely would not be a Pokemon.
Oh, I
or
wouldn't want to be, but I feel like
or a hiker.
oh yeah,
The hikers have the
you
big
know,
thick bods. Yeah,
with the most random Pokemon.
the Geodudes and yeah, pretty much Geodudes. Like
I would-
Geodudes and Onyxes.
I would join Pokemon because I think it's what you make it. Like,
Yeah.
some of the trainers are like trainers, and then some of them are like, I love my Pokemon, and they love me, and we vibe.
Mhm.
And like that's
But
it.
Vampire Diaries has witches.
Yeah, but Vampire Diaries, like I said, no one is happy, and I enjoy being happy.
And so
Hey, are people happy? Did you not watch Bye Bye Butterfree? No one's happy there either.
that's a bittersweet.
Butterfree's happy.
Everyone ends up happy. It's a sorrowful farewell, and then everyone's happy. Butterfree gets to go off and make some Caterpie somewhere.
We'll go ahead and erase one from the next one because
Although I would be terrified of bug Pokemons.
That is true. Bug Pokemon as big as you.
Horrifying.
Yeah. Big Jump Bee.
Horrifying.
Beedrill
Like
is
this right
terrifying.
here, if you had a, not necessarily, I guess it kind of is, not really your favorite of the types, but if you had to be a gym leader, what gym you want?
Which one do I want?
Yeah, what gym type would you want to be? To be
Ice.
Dark.
water or a dragon? I think I would enjoy being a good dragon. type.
Grass types are my favorite, but I don't like in real life, I don't like plants that much.
Keep it cool.
Dark.
Also fairy because a fairy's a very good Pokemon type.
That's why Rhett doesn't like them.
I just wouldn't want a bunch of fairies hanging
Yeah,
around. Like, it just
They make
doesn't-
the most annoying noises.
Oh yeah, and they're not
like
they're not the most. I feel
no,
like grass
no
type.
fairy types really interest me as Pokemon styles. So it's just
I
not
like the way
for
they look.
me.
They're cute. I like cute Pokemon.
Flabébé,
Flabébé.
Flabébé,
It's tiny. It's like this
Mhm.
big.
so little.
It's like an inch big. Like
It's like this big. Shows it on his fingers.
yeah, that's why I said it's an inch big. Like
All right, the next one. This is Hannah Davis might hit a microphone.
Mm.
Dracula,
Mm-hmm.
Lord of the Rings.
Mm.
It was Card Captor Sakura, but I knew we talked about that. I knew y'all didn't really know what that was,
Mhm.
so I re-rolled, and it's Mortal Kombat.
Okay. Hmm. I know it. Easy peasy.
So I'm assuming if you're in the world of Dracula, you're a vampire.
No, there's
So-
one of those.
or you're the guy who's observing him.
There's one of those.
Like-
But Van Helsing
Could be
also
a
you
spawn.
could be a vampire
Thrall or
hunter.
whatever.
You could be a thrall. You could be a person.
Okay.
But like, there's one
You could be Van
vampire.
Helsing.
Yeah, that's the vampire hunter.
Oh, sorry.
But he's also like wicked smart. So
Wicked smart.
you want me to go first? You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Judge Nooner expecting him, I think.
All right. So my first, I will say to enjoy is going to be Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
I love vampires. I love all vampire stuff, basically. I'm going to join Lord of the Rings. It's like D&D, but real life.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to I'm going to erase Mortal Kombat.
I'm gonna do the same.
Yep.
That's the exact same thing that I would do.
Yep.
I think I'm in agreement.
I think that's the clear factor.
Also, it's I have the best chance of surviving Lord of the Rings
As a main character, for sure.
because the other two, the main characters die too. So it's not like they're safe. The original Dracula, only one of them dies, but it's the American one, and I'm one of those. So
I just,
You're a what?
I don't know. Mortal Kombat's not as interesting a world as the other two.
the lore is interesting, but I don't
Not
think
as.
I don't. That just seems miserable. Like I don't want to fight for my life and the fate of the world. Like I just don't want to.
And fatalities look brutal. Man.
Yeah, they look like they hurt a lot. Okay.
I don't want anyone to put their hands in me and say, "Here's Johnny," as they're reaching their head
So
through.
if we're all reaching their head through the hole that they made in your torso. So if we're all joining Lord of the Rings, what race are you?
I would probably say Elvish, just because that's the one I always liked the most reading the books. More realistic to my actual personality, I would probably be human.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically like Rohan,
A writer.
Yeah, but I would want to be an elf. I would love to be a wizard, but I could be one of the blues that they never talk about. But
I'd be one of the already dead dwarves.
Yeah, I think I'm a dwarf
in the
too.
minds of
Moria.
Moria. Yeah.
You could be from the Hobbit era.
Hobbit area? Sure.
I include the Hobbit in.
Yeah.
And there are still dwarves in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, Gimli's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Do you just feel connected to the minds of Moria?
in the Rings of Power.
Balling it on them.
Yeah.
I think I would also be a dwarf or a human.
Yeah, I'd be one of the background dwarves in The Hobbit.
You get the energy of one of the Ring of Power, dwarf woman.
Thank you so much. Like a stone singer.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. That's a compliment to me. Also, not a bad choice. A hobbit.
Not a bad choice.
They're comfortable.
A comfortable life.
I just don't think I'd be one.
I like being home, but I don't think I'm enough of a home body to be a hobbit.
You can go and hang out.
All right, one more. Because the last one I rolled, and then we'll move on. Teen Titans, Pirates of the Caribbean, Naruto.
Okay. Dang, I don't want to join any of those.
Yeah.
I like most of them. I don't want to join any of them.
I like all three of these. Naruto base. I hadn't followed the rest of it, but
No, Shippuden fan.
I watched, I don't know, probably 100 episodes of it, but
yeah, that's.
I know a little bit about Naruto, not enough, but nothing.
It's Naruto is one of those animes that just has a bunch of fluff in it, and there's too many episodes.
I'm joining Teen Titans. I'm enjoying Pirates of the Caribbean, and I'm erasing Naruto.
Exact same.
Pirates of the Caribbean is bar none my favorite out of those three.
Oh.
I don't want to be a pirate.
Who wants to be a pirate?
I don't want to be dirty. Speaking of someone who used
I don't want syphilis.
I don't want to be one. I want to bathe.
I don't want syphilis.
I don't want to live on a ship.
And the alternative is you're part of the
Royal Navy. Or the East
No.
India Trading Company.
Yeah.
None of the above.
None of this.
Unless I can be Calypso.
Yeah.
Then I'm okay with it.
But if you're her, you don't do much.
My luck, I'd be one of the poor.
I control everything.
But you
my
don't.
luck, I'd be one of those poor pirates that has to sing in the beginning of World's End and just dies.
It just dies. Or or one of the ones that's random and then snaps off my toe because it's cold.
I'm the one that says no fair as he has a bomb put into him and explodes.
One of my favorite characters of all time, side character, is, I'm going to mispronounce his name, but it's one of the pirate lords. It's Usambaji, and he has a high-pitched voice.
Yes, Usambaji.
Usambaji votes for Usambaji. I just love him and his side.
Dwarven energy, for sure.
Yes.
Love it. Love it so much. And then, you're supposed to vote for me! I love it. That whole scene.
I love that scene.
You know what? I think I would I'd be on the condemned pirate squad, but I'd probably be the...
No, we already had the caveat that we're one of the main characters.
I am one of the main characters.
I'm
not the one with the eyeball. I'm the other one.
100% yes, you are. Now, could I be Captain Barbosa? Because I would take that.
No, your other option is your Mr. Gibbs.
You know what? I'm fine with that too. I played me on stage. It's the same vibe.
Who's the guy with no tongue that has a parrot?
Yeah.
Mr. Cotton?
Mr. Cotton.
Mr. Cotton.
Yeah.
Mr. Cotton's parrot.
That's a stack against you.
Such
I'm
a
that guy.
good fandom, Pirates of the Caribbean people.
Oh, I love it.
All right, so now
That's
we're
not
going
going
on
anywhere.
to our top 5.
But hold on. Let's
What-
talk
oh.
about Teen Titans. So Teen
Oh, yeah.
Titans, I'd want to be in there because that means I probably have a superpower.
Yes.
Or I'm Robin and I'm whooping all kinds
Yeah,
of
or I
butts.
don't need
Did
one.
y'all watch Teen Titans Go ever?
Yeah.
A little bit.
So there's one episode, and I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's Teen Titans Go, and not the original. But Beast Boy quits,
Mhm.
and they hire the Wonder Twins.
Yes,
Yes,
that's
But they
that's
only
Teen
want
Titans
the
Teen
Go.
Titans Go.
They only want the girl because the boy's useless.
And so, like, she's also in the world, and he's like a bucket of water at the
Yeah.
front desk. Because they make him the receptionist.
That's so
And it's so deeply funny, and like it's one of those things like all DC fans are like, aha!
Teen Titans Go is funny, and I'm tired of people saying it isn't. You're allowed to like both Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go.
I agree.
I agree, but I think they're different.
They are.
They're different shows.
I mean, they're just. Yeah, they feel different, and Teen Titans Go just has a lot more
I
fluff filler
think
stuff.
the first time I was ever confused as a child was trying to figure out if I had a crush on Raven or Tara in Teen Titans.
Yes, you can have a crush on more than one person.
I was like, what? And I think it's like they didn't
Aren't
like
both
each
Beast
other.
Boy love interests?
Yes. No.
Yeah.
Because Raven in the original like ping pong. Because sometimes she was a Beast Boy and sometimes she was a cyborg love interest.
I never got
Which
that
she's
with
not
Never
supposed
got
to
Cyborg.
be.
I never
Never
got
got
They
that.
have some weird
cyborg.
episodes in the kind of in the beginning.
I think that she just
And I
might
didn't
be.
catch on to like last time I watched it. And I was like, were they trying to make them a thing?
Yeah,
I've
Beast
never
Boy and
gotten
Raven
that.
felt like a long game, and Terra felt like an in between.
Like Sokka and Yue the Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not bad. Nobody dislikes Yue the Moon. That's not his end game.
You're not in game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Teen Titans. I've watched it several times.
Too.
And Pirates. Naruto, the first season, I mean, the entirety of Naruto is fine.
I've never watched it, but I don't like little boy animes.
It's a shonen anime. They feel very similar.
No. No, Pirates of the Caribbean is probably one of the first fandoms that was like mine. I feel like
Mhm.
Lord of the Rings. My dad got me into it.
Yes.
Harry Potter, my sister got me into it, and Pirates of the Caribbean was very much mine. Like I read the books, I went to see the movies, I bought the
Harry
toys.
Potter was mine, but my parents helped me get into it because they bought me the books. Pirates of the Caribbean, technically, I think it was my parents because like they bought the movie and had the movie, and like they were casual fans of it. And then when I got old enough, I watched the movie. I was like, this is my personality now.
Just
I
great.
think the first fandom that was actually just mine. No, my dad read that one first too. I was gonna say Twilight, but my dad read that book before I did.
But he didn't like it.
Nobody read it first, and that the only reason that I read it is because it was in his truck.
But I think he read it to make sure it was good for you to read.
He read it because a kid in his class was reading it and said it was really good.
Okay.
He'll read anything.
Okay.
He'll
Fair
read
enough.
anything. He'll watch anything. He'll listen to
I
anything.
thought it was one of those you expressed interest. He was like, oh,
No,
let me check it
I
out
had no
first.
clue what it was. I
Oh,
saw
okay.
it in my dad's truck. I was like, "What is this?" He's like, "It's something about vampires." I was like, oh, "Okay."
Yeah, how many people can say, my dad got me into Twilight? That's,
And he doesn't even like it. He actually really hates it.
That's funny.
And this isn't like a get back at my dad scheme. It's just, it happened to fall
Yeah,
into place like that.
yeah. My dad was a junior high teacher at that point, so he saw some kid reading it, and she's like, "I love it. You have to read it, Coach Johnson." And he was like, "Okay, whatever." And then it was in his truck, and I read it. So
Okay. Moving on.
sure. So our next task here is we're going to list our top 5 fandoms, and this is not the people who are fans of these things; it is the media itself. And I know that we both have, all 3 of us have a million honorable mentions. Do you want to start with those first? Just list them real fast. Your honorable mentions.
Yeah, sure, I guess.
My honorable mentions are Game of Thrones, Vampires and Dragons, Greek mythology,
Yeah.
Disney, Star Wars, Broadway as a whole, and then Stranger Things and Sherlock Holmes.
Okay, so mine very similar. My honorable mentions would be Avatar: The Last Airbender,
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Pirates of the Caribbean, Dragons, basically anything dragon related. I guess Game of Thrones House of Dragons because of that. Pokemon, Assassin's Creed, D&D if we're counting that as a fandom, Star Wars, and then Broadway musicals as a whole. I'm sure there is something that I am forgetting.
Oh, there's definitely something I'm forgetting.
Like I know there is.
I also am like, we talked about it. Like, we said that it has to have like an established like fan base. There are several things that I'm a huge fan of that like nobody else likes, so I'm not gonna bring it into the conversation.
Um,
Honorable mentions, right?
yeah, sure. Honorable mentions. Pirates of the Caribbean. I love the films. Anime. There are a lot of animes that I really like.
Oh, me too.
It's hard for me to narrow them down into my top five because I don't know. I like a lot of them. Kingdom Hearts, the video games. I was really big into those. Third one kind of dropped my fandom a lot, to be honest. Disney. Disney stuff's usually pretty good. Disney slash Pixar, I guess. Um, Star Wars, less of the newer stuff, more of the older stuff. Game of Thrones. I haven't watched House of Dragon
I
all the
haven't
way through
either.
yet, or at least caught up, whatever. Lord of the Rings. There's parts I really like, and there's other parts that are fine. Teen Titans. I love Teen Titans. I've watched it like several times. Theater in general, like I feel like
Yeah.
it's just kind of an
Yeah.
overarching thing, but I couldn't tell you who played what in any show ever.
You don't have to be
So
a fan of the actor to be a fan of the fandom.
that's kind of thing. I'm more of a fan of like shows versus people.
Yeah, that's fine.
When people are like, "Oh, who's your favorite director?" I'm like, I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm not
No
one of those
idea.
people.
I could barely tell you who wrote a lot of shows.
Who's
Like,
the guy that directed the Pirates of the Caribbean films? Bruckheimer? Is he a Jerry Bruckheimer film?
Sure.
I think that
I don't
sounds
know.
right. I don't know. He's great, whoever he is.
Yeah.
Avatar, The Last
Airbender?
Airbender, not the blue people.
I like blue people fine, but
They're fine,
they're
but
not the top.
they wouldn't be my top 50 probably. That's it.
I didn't justify any of mine, but those are my honorable
Do you
mentions.
have any out of your honorable mentions? Is there any like hot tea or like unpopular opinion that you have?
Um, hot tea, unpopular opinion. Stranger Things. I am not that excited for the newest season. I think it probably should have died about 2 seasons ago. I'm still gonna watch it, and I'll probably still like it.
I think it should have died on the last one. I think it was aiming towards a crescendo, and then it just put it off.
Well, that's because in 2020.
I mean, it's not why they wanted it to be 5 seasons. I think.
Well, no, the reason that they put it off for so long is 2020.
No. I mean, I just think like where the last season was, that should have been the end.
Yeah,
of
I
it.
agree.
They already know my unpopular opinion about Star Wars.
Oh, I don't like Star Wars. Like some of the Star Wars shows,
I believe that the and I know that everyone's going to hate me. I believe the best Star Wars movie is The Phantom Menace. I love it so much.
There's people who agree with you. I think they haven't seen the rest of them.
I have seen the rest of them. I just really
the
like.
third one is right there. All three of the original trilogy is right there.
I think why I liked it so much is my dad was so big in the original trilogy, and I knew that.
You wanted to find
and it
one
was
that
his
wasn't.
thing.
Yeah.
And then he was very adamant. My mom was like, "Well, maybe not take him to watch it," because I was like in kindergarten.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, "No, he will watch this movie." My dad didn't tell my mom no on anything. Like, so
As far as Star Wars movies that kindergartners might like,
Yeah.
the first one I
Sure.
understand
so
that.
like, we went to it, we watched it. Like
Pod racing, silly gun
Yeah,
games.
it's
We
not
went-
very hard to understand.
we went and bought the toys. Like it was like I had a Watto life-size statue that lived in my bedroom. Different story for another time. But I think because that was like really like my first
Thing.
thing.
Probably a big fandom. First
That and
fandom.
because of that movie, Darth Maul, mwah,
Great.
best villain.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I wouldn't say he's best villain, but he's
I don't
great.
know best villain, but I think
You don't know enough about
I
him.
think
for him to
he's
be-
why I like villains so much because he was like
He had a cool.
he was more
aura.
interesting than like I found Darth Vader
General
as a kid. 'cause
General Grievous is my favorite Star Wars villain.
Once again, it's like it's just
General
goofy.
Kenobi.
I love him. Like he's
Has
a
asthma for
he's
some
a
reason.
robot with asthma.
I love the
Silly design.
I love the deleted scene when he kills Shakti.
hmm
Not that Shakti dies, but just that moment, like the acting in that, and the way
That whole
Hayden
battle
was so-
in which like Obi-Wan Kenobi is riding a giant lizard for some reason, and like he's got like 4 lightsabers, and he still manages to. That's great.
And Obi-Wan Kenobi's just like, you're gonna shoot him.
Hello there. I love Obi-Wan Kenobi, dude. Like, that is the best character in Star Wars, and if you disagree with me, I can categorically prove you wrong.
And he's like he's across. There's this whole really interesting fan theory that Obi-Wan Kenobi is technically the main character of the Star Wars.
Fair.
It's not.
Except he dies in 4.
Yeah.
And I don't feel bad for the spoiler. It came out like 79.
You did not know that. Sorry.
I don't know how you're watching this or on the internet.
Yeah. If you didn't know that, I apologize.
Okay, maybe we should move on to our top
move on.
5.
All right, top 5.
Well, any hot tea? That was his, but any for you?
I like Game of Thrones a lot. Not for the dragons. I feel they could have utilized the dragons way more in Game of Thrones. I know that they do in House of Dragon. However, I am not a House of Dragon fan yet. Game of Thrones, the severely lacking dragons.
Well, there's only 3 of them. Not.
Yeah, we could have spent more time with them.
I think a big part of that is like
do we even name them all? Really?
I think
name one of them.
I think you can correct me if I'm wrong. Where the books have stopped, because like the books stopped, and
so they're like still babies, basically.
Not still babies, but like there's more dragon content that probably could come in the next books.
The most interesting part about the dragons is when Khaleesi kept them underground to control them, and it like broke their spirit, and they stopped trusting her.
And they quit growing.
I love that.
And
yes,
and that kind of speaks into the House of Dragon because
they're smaller.
The dragons are tiny.
Yeah.
Like,
well, they talked about it because of all the dragon skeletons in the basement. Like there are some the size of like dogs.
I don't think she's gonna be in. Spoiler alert! I don't think this dragon's gonna be in House of Dragon, but there's a character that she gets the last rideable dragon, and it can barely hold her weight. And she's a small girl, but like they keep them like locked up in the dragon mount because they're afraid of people attacking them, because it's very much their seat of power. So I think,
I love that. I love that in like the metaphorical sense too, of like keeping yourself small to make other people make yourself palatable to other people, kills your spirit. Like I love that whole.
There's a lot of those really nice nuancy things.
Yes.
In those.
Also, don't give an F about the faceless people. Or Bran. Don't give an F about Bran and his magic.
I'm a big advocate of like trying not to skip things in books. When Bran's name showed up in chapters, it was flip.
Oh my gosh.
I could not handle it. It was like, it's kind of okay in the show. It's boring it's so boring.
Every time that we didn't do it very often because Bran was barely in the show, to be honest. But every time that it was like it panned to him, I'd be like, oh, okay.
Bathroom break.
Yeah.
Oh, Bran and
Arya.
Arya stuff was fine, but the
still was interesting.
The one who gets tortured.
Oh my god! I hate Theon Greyjoy.
Theon, yes, God.
Hey, dogs.
Anything to do with Theon, I did not care. I didn't care his redemption story. I was done.
Yeah, I didn't like him in the beginning. Like I didn't like.
I hate him from the beginning.
Yeah,
and then he trades on everyone, and anyways.
All right, any unpopular opinion for you, Rhett?
Popular opinion: The Hobbit should have been 1 movie, not 3.
I could even argue 2, but it should not have been 3.
No, it felt like
I like dragons.
Yeah, but like
you could have done
that big of a.
That could have been all
he
done in the
2,
first
and the very
2.
end of 1.
Yeah,
it should have been done in 2.
And the begin, and he's in the beginning of 3. I mean, he's on all 3.
But you could have cut out some stuff and still done it in 1.
They made up the majority of the Hobbit.
Yes.
I know.
The
That's
Hobbit
what I'm saying.
is tiny. It's a novella,
and that's why like the movies are fine, but they just feel like they're stretched for content.
Oh, the best part of the movies is the dragon.
Yeah, Smaug is the best part.
Benedict Cumberbatch as Smaug.
And I will say, like, Rings of Power, I think feels more like Lord of the Rings than Hobbit movies do.
I agree. And people that hate on the Rings of Power for no reason are false.
I need to finish it, but I mean, it's been great.
Big
so far.
fans. If you don't like women and black people, you can just say that. That's how I feel about that.
Because it feels very much like Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
And it honors a lot of things. They changed one thing about one character, but that's about the only thing.
And also, like, if you are a fan of the books, I feel like, don't get me wrong, I love the movies, but the Ring of Power, it feels more like the book. Like what I picture in my head, that it just like the coloring of it, everything seems more like that show.
It feels like a lived-in world.
Yeah, The Hobbit does not. The Hobbit does not
The
fit
Hobbit
the
feels like a
images in my
Marvel
head.
movie.
The Hobbit isn't at all. Everyone's so young in the Hobbit movie to me.
Yeah, and like the dwarves, not at all how I picture them.
Mm-mm. Okay,
Anyways,
so on to our top fives.
top fives.
Do you want to start with our fives? Are they in particular order for you guys?
Mine are in particular order.
I can.
It took
I can
me.
maybe-
Mine's in order.
It took
Mine
a
are in
minute.
order. I can put them in the order. Okay, mine are in the right order.
I'll switch mine, but yeah, mine's in the right order
Okay.
now.
So starting with our number 5.
Sure.
My number 5 is the Akatar fandom, Court of Thorns and Roses.
That would be an
Wow,
honorable mention.
that's a pretty new one for you.
Yeah.
too.
New one for me. Yeah,
That would be in.
it's a really good lore. Like it's deep. It runs deep.
I think Fourth Wing and that would be honorable mentions for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My number 5 is Harry Potter. I really like Harry Potter. I've enjoyed all the books, enjoyed all the movies. I know they're redoing stuff, and I'm pretty excited about that. Honestly, I'll be honest.
I honestly am too.
Yeah.
Because I think
I like remaking media.
And I would
depends.
because someone might clock us. Okay,
Yeah.
we don't condone J.K. Rowling's actions, and
Nope.
she sucks.
Yep.
However, I do like the world that she created.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes,
I will caveat. I like the original movies.
I don't like Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts was fine.
I
to
like the
me.
first one.
It didn't feel
the
like
other
Harry
two
Potter.
were just kind of just okay. Just okay.
I think I like them because I'll say this. Clap me. The Harry Potter books suck as books. They're not good books. If you start cutting them apart, they're not great. What's so great about them is the world she made.
Mm-hmm.
The world is great. What type of magic she made is great. The way she tied in mythology to it, great. The actual story is messed up.
Fine.
And it's fine.
It's full of some holes.
It's got plot holes. But so I think I liked Fantastic Beasts because it was a world. But I would have preferred her turning like the Ilvermorny into a movie series.
Yes.
I would have enjoyed that.
I think it's you took it out of the school setting, which I think was like the
best part of it.
The best part of it. Which house are you going into?
Well, also
blah,
because
blah, 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 blah.
we aren't in that world. The school setting is good because it's teaching Harry about it at the same time it's teaching us about it.
Yes.
You can't throw us into the American wizarding system and expect us to understand
That's
how
why
it
they
works.
gave us the Baker guy. They gave us the Baker
I
guy.
love him too.
All right. So my
Anyways.
number 5 is DC Comics. That's my comic.
That should have been in my honorable mention.
Yeah. So I like DC Comics. They're not my favorite movies as a whole, but I like the cartoon TV shows. I like the first 2 seasons of the CW shows, and I like the cartoon TV shows, the comic books. I wish I could like the movies.
We all do.
Yeah.
I wish I liked the first Wonder Woman movie.
It was fantastic.
I liked Aquaman.
Fine.
I like the first
Fine.
one. Mm-hmm.
And I liked Henry Cavill Superman,
I liked the
And I
Dark
like-
Knight trilogy.
but I had
Yes.
issues with the Man of Steel movie.
I hate that movie.
I loved his portrayal. I think he was a great Superman.
I'll be
I
honest,
have
I
feelings.
no issues with Man of Steel movie.
I have feelings about Superman as a
loved it.
whole. I just don't like Superman.
I don't like it as a whole of like. I think if it was a 10-line movie, I'd be fine. But like knowing Superman and reading the comic books and knowing all the things, it's hard to keep that world going after that movie.
Man, all that movie need to be is the world turns on Superman, and Superman realizes the error of his ways and how he can never
Oh,
kill someone.
I would
And
have.
then we have this whole redemption story
That
in the
would've been
second
better.
movie. Would have been great.
That would've
Never
been
got there. Instead, we got Batman versus Superman and all that bull malarkey.
All
One
right.
of the worst movies ever.
I hate Superman as a character.
I think it would have been really interesting to see this, but
I'm
we
sure
didn't get
Superman
to.
would be a lovely person to hang out with. However,
I think the one thing that the movies lack is his checks and balance. Because in the comic world, he's not as powerful as he seems. Like he has weaknesses, and man gets clocked all the time
by magic.
and by magic, and you don't get that in the. Like
there's no
DC
magic
does
in-
magic very well. Like it's like I would say, you can argue me sorry. Their magic is almost better than Marvel's. Like
Marvel's
it's
is
a
very
strong
sciencey based.
part of their comics, and it never makes it into their movies.
Yeah, that's the issue.
And they do it very well.
It's strong in the other pieces of lore, other pieces of media, but the movies, which is the most prevalent, it's kind of garbage.
Like the only one you get is Enchantress,
Yeah, and
And they don't-
nobody likes that movie.
and they don't do
well,
it right.
and you get it in Shazam as well.
Oh,
And it's not good there either.
Let's not talk about the sequel.
hate
Like
that movie.
I like Shazam the movie, but the magic part that's in like the sequel is pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's just not interesting.
All right, number 4 is
My number 4 is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Great.
great choice.
No comments.
No comments. We're not talking about
We
it.
talked a bunch. My number 4 is D&D/Critical Role. I can't tell you any of the original gods in D&D. I can't, other than a few.
The
And I can't
Tiamat
tell
and
you.
Bahamut.
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's a few I can, but that's not the part of it I enjoy. But to say that D&D is not one of my fandoms when I spend almost every Sunday doing it, and like the lore that's in our custom built world is way more interesting
If
than
I included our custom, like our campaigns,
Yeah.
then D&D would be at the top.
Yeah.
However, I can't include that as one of the things because we talked about it already had to have an established fan base.
sure.
But I do like Vox Machina.
But Critical Role, I'm throwing that in there because I love Vox Machina. I watched the first 2 campaigns. I'm still going through 3. 4 hours every week is a lot. Easy to get behind on that. But yeah, so enjoy it.
My 4 is Harry Potter. When I was younger, it would have been way higher on my list. But as I've gotten older, it's just kind of gone down a bit. I think that
It's
goes
for kids.
And I think like one of the great things about it is like we were like as we grew with Harry,
Mhm.
the books got more
Darker.
intense, the
Mhm.
language got more intense. And
It got darker and they started kissing each other.
Snogging. And there's another call in the book, right? Snogging.
Yeah.
And so it's my 4. I love it. I do have quite a big Harry Potter wine collection.
Okay. My 3 is the MCU, not comics, because I don't read comics, but I do like the MCU.
More on them later.
Mm-hmm. We talked about them a lot at the beginning.
Yeah, I like MC. Like, it's not my favorite. Like, I didn't really care about Marvel outside of X-Men until like the movies started coming out.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of a DC purist.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
the first movie came out in like 2001. Do you remember how
The
old?
first Spider-Man?
No, I'm talking about like the Avengers.
Oh, you're
era
talking about,
movies.
I think
Like
the X
this-
movie.
I watched the Spider-Man movies and they were fine.
Yeah.
But Spider-Man was never going to be Superman or Green Lantern or Hot Girl in my book.
You said Hawk Girl. I thought you said Hot Girl. Anyways.
Well, yes.
Yes.
Both of those
It's not going to be a hot
statements
girl.
is correct. All right.
My number 3 is
Oh, I just said my 3. Sorry.
Pokemon.
Fair.
I love Pokemon. I played it a lot. I'm currently going back and playing through a lot of it, so it's great. I love it.
Would you include the anime in that?
I enjoy the games more than the anime. The anime is just rinse and repeat a lot, but it has its charm for
Anime's
sure.
very formulaic.
Yeah.
More so than any other anime.
Yes.
Every episode, Team Rocket's going to blast off. Every episode, they're going to try to steal Pikachu.
It's very it's little kid.
It's not
show.
meant to be binged.
No.
Yeah.
And I'm a binger, so
It's not gonna.
My 3 is cheating. I think. It's a package deal.
Oh, I thought you were saying that your number 3 fandom was just cheating on people.
No.
a bunch of fans of it.
Greek mythology and Percy Jackson.
That's cheating, but okay. I'll let it slide.
Like,
I said
Greek mythology started like I was a Greek mythology fan way before Percy Jackson.
Me too.
I was the weird kid at a book fair that bought all the mythology books.
Me too.
And then Percy Jackson came, and then I'm still a Percy Jackson fan. But like a lot of the things that I liked were because like American Dragon Jake Long didn't love it for a lot of reasons. I love it because all the mythology things in it.
I love that show.
So Greek mythology for sure, but number 3.
Greek mythology is one of my honorable mentions. I love Greek mythology.
It should have been in mine. I mean, I've built a whole
Do we
D&D
consider
campaign
like
around
the
it.
ancient Greek like texts, like the Iliad and the Odyssey?
Yeah.
Odyssey and all that.
Okay.
I consider that separate, but I can see the Percy Jackson.
All of the gods and stuff is in it. So
yeah, I guess.
Most of the information we get is from those.
But you say witches, but you say that's separate from Harry Potter. You know what I'm saying?
because it's separate.
Because I don't like Harry Potter witches.
Yeah, they're different.
I like kidnapping children and stealing their youth witches.
I like selling my soul to the devil and naked under the moonlight.
I guess.
I left Charmed off this list. I
did leave Charmed off.
I want to get canceled. Honorable mention Charmed. By myself.
Number 2?
My number 2 is Twilight. I can say a lot about it. I love it a lot. I know it's terrible. I know it has flaws. I don't care. I like terrible things. And you're not going to clock me. Yes, the movies are terrible. I
will say I probably watch Eclipse at least once a month.
I love Twilight. I love the lore of Twilight.
Comfort movie for me.
I like the characters she made.
No judgment here.
It's objectively terrible. It's Mormon vampire fairies. I don't care. I don't care. I know everything about it.
Oh yeah.
I know just about everything about it. I've read all the books. I've seen all the movies. It's not on my list.
Yeah, well, I didn't say that I was a woman of taste.
I
You
stand by
asked me
this,
my
and I'll
opinion.
say it for the rest of my life. Stephanie Meyer, can we please get novellas of all the other vampires? Just like a box
Yes.
set of each of their stories.
Please.
I would, especially Garrett. Would love it. Thanks.
Like the ones that come in Breaking Dawn that have like the interesting powers. Tell me
Yeah.
about Benjamin, please.
Yes.
It was like, here's a 4,000 names show up.
Yep.
And nothing happens. All right, cool. Moving on.
Yep.
All right.
Biggest letdown.
Number
Anyways,
two.
I think I like Twilight because it's about the love story and vampires just happen to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's not the driving plot point.
Which is interesting. It makes the lore in the world seem more natural in that way, and that like it's just happens to be about vampires. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
I am.
All right, number two for you, Rhett?
number 2 is my silly one, I guess, and that's professional wrestling.
That's not silly.
I love
it is
professional
silly.
wrestling.
The clip we saw this morning of the WWE wrestlers dancing and singing in the 80s was something.
Yeah, not so much a big fan of 80s wrestling. My dad, I watched a lot of it. I've seen every WrestleMania and most of the pay-per-views from the 80s, but yeah, I love it. I can talk about it all night, and so yeah, love it.
There's a whole video about it. Go watch it.
Sure, yeah, go watch that.
Yeah, my number 2 is Lord of the Rings. Talked about it before.
Fair.
Loved it.
I'm not smart enough to put Lord of the Rings on my top.
I read the books, so
I read the book. I'm a very petty person, and please don't tell me I can't do something.
You're petty.
And when I was the first movie had come out, my dad was reading the books, and it was on Return of the King, and I was in maybe third, fourth grade, and I was like, I'm going to read that book. He's like, well, you can read The Hobbit, but you can't read the other ones because you won't be able to.
Oh.
And turn that noise off. And so, but I did, and I will tell you that in little fourth grade Hayden read that book with like a binder. Like I would write people's names down so I couldn't say them.
That's
and
why
so I was like, Legolas equals Larry. Because I was like, my brain cannot read that word.
That's why it's not in my top because
It's a
I
lot of
can't.
work.
I don't want to take notes
I
while
read
I'm
it
reading.
later, but I read it again later in life. But I read through that book.
Have you read the Silmarillion or whatever it's called?
Yes.
Is it bad?
It's hard to read.
It's like reading a textbook.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
not an enjoyment to me, but
and there's like the Middle Earth books too. There's lots of things.
Okay.
But I like them.
Silmarillion.
And I like Fellowship of the Ring because I'm an exposition fan.
Ooh.
I know. Judge me.
There
I
is
only
one of
read
you out
dialogue.
there.
What?
There is one of you out there.
His kind of J.K. Rowling. He made such a good world.
It's
He did.
different in
And
fantasy.
Fellowship and like
Yeah, for sure.
and if you've read a high fantasy, if you've read like Wheel of Time, for example, they basically just redo what he did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every single he was the blueprint. Every single
And
D&D
it's just-
comes from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I love reading it. If you've not read them, read them.
Try.
Just
Try your
reading it.
best.
Try. Prove your dad wrong.
Yeah.
But I do love them. I like The Hobbit too, but I really do love them, and I dressed up as Lord of the Rings many times, and probably made my dad sick because I would always do I used to know the Arwen Elvish from Fellowship when she's protecting Frodo, and I would like grab my dog and like hold up a fake sword and do that on my couch.
You gotta protect your dog.
Yeah.
My number 1 is Harry Potter. Still. After all these years, always.
Always. The best character in that series, for sure.
No.
Rhett's trying to fight today.
I can't say my favorite character.
I love
because
Snape.
No one agrees with me.
I love Snape because he's interesting.
He's interesting.
Not because I agree with him or think he did the right thing.
dynamic character.
Oh no,
He's
I'm not
dynamic.
saying he's a bad character. I'm just saying he makes me angry.
He's the character you would study if Harry Potter was in like a lit class.
Yes,
Him and Dumbledore.
Ooh, speaking of characters I hate.
Both are very interesting now.
My favorite character is Horace Slughorn.
My favorite character is
I
Remus
love
Lupin.
Horace Slughorn.
My
He's
favorite
my
character
He's a jerk too.
I love him so much.
is Remus Lupin.
Is who?
Remus Lupin.
Unproblematic favorite.
Unproblematic favorite. Okay.
Yeah.
Remus Lupin? He can't help that.
That's the whole point.
That's what I'm saying. He's unproblematic.
Yeah. I also am
Sure.
a big
He probably should be at school, but
because I love the impact.
that's
they have,
Dumbledore.
on the story as a whole.
Not
I'm a
very
big fan of Molly and Arthur Weasley.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Like they're good characters as
But
a
like
whole.
I even get into like the fandom of Harry Potter, like the people that are obsessed with the Marauders and like ship Wolfstar and stuff like that. Like I'm like a fan.
See, that's what
Yeah.
they should be doing a series about. But
The
that's just me.
Marauders, yes.
I would let.
But they wouldn't do it like the fan. They wouldn't have the courage to do it like the fandom does.
Yeah.
I'm
All
just,
right. You know one?
my number one is MCU. I mean, Marvel to a larger extent. I play all the video games. I've read a lot of comics. I've watched Spider-Man 1 and 2 and 3, even as bad as it is and great as it is at moments.
Spider-Man 3 is great. I will hear no notes.
Okay, Tobey Maguire dancing is still something, but
That's the point. It's supposed to make you cringe.
Yeah, but why? Like,
I don't mind it.
and I didn't like Venom either in that movie because Venom is not as cool as
Topher
his
Grace
later.
did such a good job, though.
It's not Topher Grace. It's the way Venom looks and feels and all that. It's just I don't know. It feels like an afterthought in that movie.
I'm glad we got the other Venom because I feel like it does Venom much more justice
Absolutely.
than that.
But anyways, I love all three of those movies. I've watched them upwards of 30 times each, probably. In the MCU, I love it. I've spent more times looking up like fan theories and things about stuff on that than anything else. This just today we went and saw Captain America, and it's a great movie. And after it was over, I'm like looking up like who is this character? What have they ever done? Kind of thing.
No
And,
spoilers.
yeah, no spoilers or anything, but just just different things like that.
Also, there's things about I think something that Marvel does that DC could really do well that they don't, that they can steal from. Marvel's very good at integrating the side characters and the smaller heroes.
Yes.
DC can't. The only time they've done it was like with the CW TV shows, and then they tried too much with like Legends of Tomorrow. It got too messy.
I guess the only one that did it successfully would be Suicide Squad.
Yes.
Well, and
then they went too far with Birds of Prey.
I love Birds of Prey, but I'm a girl.
I thought it was fine.
I mean, I like every character in there. Like I do. I'm very excited for it. I like the whole idea, but I don't think the movie did what they were wanting that movie to do.
I think Margot Robbie is carrying the DCE, like the DCU, like the movies on her back right now.
Yeah, her portrayal is one of the strongest ones.
To me, DC's biggest issue is they rushed things too much at the beginning, and then they tried to pick it back up, and they didn't have an idea what they wanted overall picture. And I think they're missing the Kevin Feige aspect that Marvel has. Marvel knows what it wants to get to, and everything's building towards it.
They don't.
At least they have a good.
They don't have that overarching theme.
Yeah, I mean, there's things that go back and pick up. You can
tell that Marvel's like, here's my end goal that I want to get to. Now let's make all these movies. And it feels like DC is like, oh, we're making these movies, and like, okay, when we think of the end goal, we're gonna put it in, and they just don't know what that is yet.
Or they're like, oh, we're playing towards this end goal. It's in the second movie. Probably should be built more.
Yeah.
Okay, my number one is not gonna shock anyone. Is Disney.
Fair.
I was raised a Disney person. We go to Disney all the time.
You worked at Disney.
I worked at Disney. I was a pirate at Disney. Right, the pirate
competition. And as a whole, Disney movies are good.
Yeah, as a whole, Disney movies are good. Like there are problematic things in the past of the company, and
and there's some movies that are great.
And most of the things you are. There's
anything
some movies
that's that old. Will have
there's some movies that's like, okay, let's just not talk about the movie anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Or, but I love them. I love the bad movies.
Mm-hmm.
Black Cauldron. I love. Fun fact: almost killed the company. Fun fact. But Disney. I don't love some Disney fans, but I love the movies. I like the theme park culture.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. It's magic.
I also really love the weird caveat of Disney. I love the weird like 60s and 70s Disney movies, like the 50s, 60s, 70s.
The live action ones.
The live actions.
Oh yeah,
love those.
Like that DC, like that darn cat, and like stuff like that.
And Parent Trap and all that stuff.
Oh, I love those.
Love them. Swiss Family Robinson is one of
I love that movie.
One of the best piratey movies. Love it.
I forgot an honorable mention, and it's Gone with the Wind. We don't have to talk about it.
My honorable mention will be my honorable mention. We kind of talked about it. Would probably that I forgot would be SNL. I forget there's a lot of things about it.
People like it a lot.
People like it a lot, and it definitely. I became an actor because of that. Like that gateway me in.
Honorable mention. Whose line is it anyway? I've watched so much of that
Yes.
show.
I watch that all the time.
I had it on record, and it was that and Teen Titans were the two shows I was always recording, and I would just watch them. It didn't matter where it was.
Man of taste. All
Man
right.
of humor.
Well, thank you for joining us for our top fives here.
Sure.
Like we always do, we're gonna end up with our favorite video of February.
February, January.
January. My favorite that we played at least was the Game of Things for sure. It was really fun.
That was my favorite video. I think I liked the Sounds Fishy game,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I really enjoyed the just of how that's the ridiculousness of the Game of Things, and the video itself was just fun. But another party game.
I think my favorite would be the one that just came out, The Way We Love, just because I don't know, it's fun. There's a bunch of fun tidbits in there, and something a little bit different. So you know, doing it, editing it, all that part was a lot of fun. So
Alrighty. Well, thank you for joining us for the Frenchie Farts podcast. We have to go play D&D now.
Right? This is brought to you by stress medication, because we're gonna need that after people start commenting on this.
Please tell us your top 5 favorite fandoms. I would love to hear.
and check out the Last Place Chronicles coming out in the next 2 months.
Goodbye.
Not today, last place.